My name is Monique Dupree, aka Gata, and I am a mother of 10 children. October the 15th is Infant Loss and Awareness Day, and I thought it was only right as someone who has lost before to actually share in my experiences, and hopefully some of you guys can comment below uh, and share yours as well. It was 2003, and I had 6 children at the time, and I found out I was pregnant. I didn't have health insurance, and we have been fighting to try to get health insurance, and you know, some of the clinics that I wanted to go to were clinics that basically just helped you to find out if you were pregnant. It was very obvious that I was. So they were like, well, you need to go to this place, you need to go to that place. And I just got frustrated, and I just said, fine, well, I've been through this many a times. I will, take prenatal vitamins and take care of myself and, do what I do until I can get an appointment, because I'm a mom of 6, I got this. Meanwhile, not stopping the fight, but not stressing myself, because I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. Everything was going fine. Anytime I had any real issues, I would just go to the ER, and I would tell the ER, look, I'm trying to be seen by a clinic, a doctor, a something. I have no medical insurance. I'm waiting for it to go through. They would check the baby's fine, this, that, or the other. In ERs where I found out that it was a girl, and I don't know, it just went on that way because I was so paranoid, because I wasn't being seen by a regular doctor, that any little real thing, I ran to the emergency room. That was just my go-to, right, wrong, indifferent. I don't care what anybody else thought. I don't have a regular doctor. I don't know if something's wrong. I'm going to the ER. So that's what I would do. So maybe about a month or so went by. I hadn't been feeling all that well, but I was thinking that I felt movement, but I wasn't sure. And then I would start to break out and everything. And finally, I contacted a hospital's OBGYN, Planned Parenthood, whatever, that said that they would see me without the insurance. So they set up an appointment for me, and the first appointment is supposed to be a wellness appointment. They take blood, they listen to the baby's heartbeat, they do a little basic ultrasound so that you can just see the baby, see the development, nothing to, like, not an in-depth ultrasound when you go to an ultrasound clinic. So Saint came with me because we were excited. We wanted to see her. We wanted to, hear her heartbeat. I was about 8 months by then. So I was at the tail end of everything. But they were going to need to see me every week. So I was like, cool. We were so excited. So as we were sitting there, I was filling out the paperwork, and you know when something is wrong. And I think I knew something was wrong, but who wants to admit to that, right? You think maybe, well, it's just, it's something minor. You just deal with it. Whatever the doctor tells you, you just deal with it, as long as you have your baby. So we went inside, and the doctor asked me a bunch of questions, and then he had me to lay back some so he can listen to the baby's heartbeat. And he put the Doppler on my stomach, and we didn't hear anything. So he was like, and he looks at the Doppler, and I'm trying not to panic, and he said, I think we have been having trouble with this one. But then when he tapped it, it seemed like it was working. I don't know, but he said, let me switch. And then we were like, okay, and we're looking at each other, and I'm rubbing my stomach a lot, and I'm like, come on, baby, don't give him any problems today. And then he got another Doppler, and he put it on my stomach, and he didn't hear anything. So if you ever seen a doctor panic when they try not to show panic, is what I remember seeing. He said, hold on a second. And, we're looking at each other, and I'm like, just please tell me she's okay. But in that moment, I started thinking about everything that I was feeling previously that was different, but every pregnancy is different, right? So he came back in with another doctor. They started feeling my stomach. The other doctor put the Doppler on my stomach. And they left. I think I knew what they were gonna say, but you can never prepare yourself. You go through 9 months essentially of carrying a baby. I've been through 8 of those 9 months. So we were in the prep stages of when we had her and she came home and all of that stuff. And so they said, oh, we think that your baby has passed away. I scream. I'm inconsolable, and I'm like, I think you guys missed something. You missed something. You had to have missed something. So they asked to do an ultrasound. They took me to another room across that had the little ultrasound stuff. And I'm inside begging and pleading with my child. Dear little girl, all I want you to do is show them you are alive. Just show them. But when he put it on my stomach, we could all see that she was gone. She was wrapped in a ball. And I guess I thought I felt movement if she was like hitting my stomach. I just figured that she was one of those babies that didn't move a whole lot, because I've had those babies before. She was gone. So I'm 8 months, and we're just told that the baby that we were expecting in about a month is gone. So now they have to send me over to another clinic to make an appointment because they wanted to know if I wanted to go through the labor, which I did. But my husband advised against it. He said it would be too traumatic if I had to go through the labor only to know that she's not alive and we don't know what condition she was going to be in. So I fought with the doctors and Saint. I said I need to push my baby out. But they thought that they should try this pretty new procedure at the time. It was called the D&E, because with the D&C, they get the baby out pretty early. That's what they use mostly in abortions and when people have miscarriages and they clear them out or what have you. So I had to get a D&E. But what that meant was they had to prep me and I had to walk around. I believe it was nearly 5 days with a deceased baby in my belly. They had to do something with some seaweed sticks that had to naturally dilate me and blah, 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 so that they can prep me for this because I was 8 months. If you've ever had to walk around with a full-on belly and do your normal activities and people going, oh, is it a boy or a girl? Or they go to touch your stomach. It is not a great feeling. It's not a good feeling. I contemplated suicide a couple of times. I mean, we had to go back home to our kids and tell them that their baby sister is gone. And then they're like, but what's this in your belly? Like, why do you still have a belly? That was traumatic. And I lost my little girl. She had a personality. I talked to her. I sang to her. She responded. Her father would put his hand on my stomach and she would come to it. She was her. I mean, they didn't have the technology that they have today, but you can see in a 3D ultrasound the babies and their personalities. At 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. My baby was a baby. So I have a child that has had no date of birth, but she has a date of death, which is this month, back in 2003. And we named her. We had to decide whether we wanted to bury her or cremate her or have services. At the time, I had never even had to plan a funeral, much less my child that I never got to meet, but I knew better than anyone else. So that was a big infant loss. And sorry. It was a lot to deal with. And then afterwards, I was told that because of everything that happened, that I probably couldn't have any more children. Something about, her being inside of me, deceased for the period of time that she was, because they don't know when she died. That's the cause for the breakouts and everything that was happening to my body and the things that started to break down in my body. And I said, wow, now I can't have any more children. That was 2003. So even though they had me on a low dose of birth control, I just went about my life like I can't have any more children. And it devastated me. But then I got pregnant in 2007. And that was the most joyous time in my life. I would not allow anybody to tell me that they weren't going to see my child. I said if I had to go to the ER every 2 weeks until somebody put me in some kind of care. But I immediately got put on insurance. Then we were in a different state, so the laws were very different. So I had no problems. And I gave birth to a healthy baby boy after being told that I couldn't have any more children. I had 4 more beautiful babies. So, also, just because a doctor tells you something doesn't mean that's just that. Because sometimes whoever it is that you believe in, God, whomever, whatever you call him, or her, or them, there's a plan in place. I went on thinking I wasn't gonna ever have any more kids. I was never gonna know the feeling of getting pregnant again and being able to have that opportunity again. And I had it 4 more times, and I have 4 more beautiful babies. I tried to let that be my silver lining, but that loss still affects me to this day, as you could see. I apologize for the crying, but I don't apologize at the same time. It's just how I feel. I mean, it was 2003, and it still hits me like it was yesterday. We decided this year to switch out her urn to something more suitable for her, Yin, our angel. So, on this day, Infant Loss Awareness Day, I just want to say to people who have gone through various forms of it, I understand, I love you, and thank you for listening.